recently in her work branching out into really different forms. Sometimes she does long series, and she always has a very unusual take as a critic on things that people are reading. So I want to welcome Annette as our first next part feature.
The war is on my mind all the time. I write poems about that. But something else is on my mind, and it's narrow fills while Rome burns. And our forests are drying up. So the first two poems are about that. One's old, one's new. And the first one's called The Whisper River. The river moves crimson under the red and silver sky. The sun vanishes below the woodlands. Gulls gather to go south. They are much happier since the crows took off for their winter refuge in the Rocky Mountain Trench. The sky darkens. The waiter watches from the transom, brings a glass of lemon tea, then steps back inside. Will the sky remember the violet light, the last hint of dusk? The leaves are off the trees, no sign of rain or snow. I listen to the Whisper River, nearly quiet from the rainless summer, when the water's narrowing. There's still a little water in the river. Last year, the roar over stones. This year, almost nothing. This is new. We stuffed petals. It's called Drought in the Mountains. What a title. We stuffed petals in our pockets, thin roses of the mountains, and we said the end of March had never been so grand. Water trickling in the washes, birds calling early. A deer among the oaks turned to us from the distance. There had been rain in winter and warmth. It called the mountains early to start the dance of roses. A breeze swept up from the ocean, the trail cooled, and we were giddy with early spring. Early summer was different. The rain never appeared again. We saw a leafless branch of giant oak and dried up wild wheat. The streams were rocks. The trees smelled dusty. One day, a pool of water oozing into a patch of wild grass, and not a moment later was gone into the hungry earth. These are a few little haikus that supposedly make up a little story. It's called haiku. He stands, reaches for a menu, and sits taking a sip of black tea. The cafe table remains empty, save for an iris-skinned thin glass. He watches the girl and notices rain form pools on the tile walk. The night air swoops in, chasing sawdust into cracks and dampness into dust. He gets up, nods, smiles, the smile of a quiet man thinking what to say. The woman in her nightgown. The woman in her nightgown stands behind a door of ornamental glass. Sunbeams search for darkened hallway. A young man appears on the porch, rings the bell, removes his fedora. Warm east winds rattle the door. Clouds diminish, they wash flight. The young man departs, carrying his hat. Dare. She wears nothing under her short dress, legs free. She leans against a sycamore, waiting, unafraid. He trails her in the mist, touches her arm. With the weight of his chest, the tree, they become a night ghost. The scent of jasmine, every place. Storm. In March, he was standing at the sink washing a cup, and I was in the breakfast nook mending a curtain frayed by the sun. And he was talking about, if he died, what would I do? And I didn't say anything. And he started talking about, if he left, what would I do? And I said, I don't know. And in July, I was lying on the beach listening to music on the radio, and he was standing at the edge of the water fishing. He called out, you go home. I want to stay until dark. So I took my mat and radio and left. And in October, he was watching TV. And I was sitting doing a pen puzzle. I asked him, do you have a new girlfriend? And he said, yes, it is true. And I said, oh, well, then. And he said, it's been a time. And I said, fire in the water, flickers out. This is one of my, I don't know where it came from, and I don't know where it's going from. It's called Glass. Glass really slips, things move to edge. Glass so shiny, things move in circles, circles, circles. She tells it to her love, returned from the levee with a stone in his shoe. He understands how she speaks, not telling what she thinks. Glass, no pits, no scratches. Things won't stay with glass. It's called Liberty. I'm going to tell you a little bit about this poem, although I shouldn't, but I will. I wrote a poem, and it was pretty bad about the war. And I went home and it imploded. It fell against itself inside of me. It did a funny thing. It's called Liberty. I wish to alight on an Aquarius kite, pure it rocks in an open field. It didn't work that way. I hated my releaser, even though he promised freedom. One long hand, the other withered, a breath of evil gin, herbs cured his bilious stomach. I planned to let him stay a month, killed him little by little. First, by running away, he would follow up hills. He was old, I was young. I would kill him with a dot of arsenic and gin, enough to make him weak. I would kill him, kicking him out, offending him in front of neighbors, torching his car in the front lawn. I remember his ugly touch hand. If he returns as Agamemnon, I begin again. This time, a sword at my side. I'm going to end with another mountain poem. Mountain Man. This time he climbs straight up the face of the pass, not a pack on his back, not a pick in hand, in love with scaling the cliff. The hard way, the way few take except ones who love death as well as life. He knows a steep climb might do him in, and an easy path might keep him safe, and he laughs. In a moment of good cheer, on the bright side of the mountain, he begins his descent down a narrow path, step by slow